She's a worldwide icon, a living legend. And tonight, she is here with us.
When people think of Madonna, they think of the ultimate pop provocateur. The boundary-pushing icon who's reinvented herself decade after decade. The unstoppable force who wrote the rule book for modern pop stardom that everyone else follows. But behind the ever-evolving image and record-breaking success lies a fiercely competitive artist with razor-sharp opinions about her contemporaries. While many music legends maintain diplomatic silence about their rivals, Madonna's legendary candor has occasionally lifted the veil on who truly gets under her skin in the music world.
I saw her performing at a very small club in Manhattan a couple of years ago. Maybe it was like, I was really impressed by her. I thought she was...
"I don't waste time being nice about mediocrity," she once told Rolling Stone magazine. This business isn't about participation trophies, it's about excellence or nothing. From explosive backstage confrontations to ice-cold public dismissals, Madonna's musical feuds reveal the uncompromising perfectionist behind the pop facade. Her criticisms aren't random attacks. They're the judgments of a woman who clawed her way to the top and has strong opinions about who deserves to share that rarefied air. Today we're counting down the 7 artists that Madonna reportedly can't stand, and why even some of music's biggest names have felt the full force of the Queen of Pop's legendary contempt. 7. Lady Gaga. The most infamous and long-running of Madonna's musical feuds centers on the woman many once called the new Madonna, a comparison that reportedly infuriated the original Material Girl from the start. Madonna saw Gaga as explicitly copying her blueprint without acknowledgement, revealed Madonna's former choreographer Carlton Wilborn. She believes in reinvention, not replication, and felt Gaga was simply recycling her provocations for a new generation.
Been the most influential, like Madonna, David Bowie. Of course I love them for their music. And not to sound vain or shallow, but...
The tension first exploded publicly when Gaga released Born This Way in 2011, which many noted bore striking similarities to Madonna's Express Yourself. In a 2012 ABC News interview, Madonna delivered her now infamous assessment, "It feels reductive." When pressed on what she meant, she coolly added, "Look it up," creating an iconic moment of shade. What particularly irritated Madonna was what she perceived as Gaga's attempts to position herself as more authentic and meaningful. During rehearsals for her MDNA tour, Madonna was reportedly furious after watching a Gaga interview where the younger star emphasized her musical training.
But a lot of these figures, Madonna, it's really about persona.
According to a backup dancer present, Madonna fumed, "Playing piano doesn't make you a revolutionary. I changed culture without hiding behind classical credentials." The animosity peaked during Madonna's 2012 tour when she performed a mashup of Express Yourself and Born This Way that pointedly demonstrated the similarities before transitioning into a song called She's Not Me. The message couldn't have been clearer. Even in recent years, the tension simmers. When Gaga's acclaimed film debut in A Star Is Born generated Oscar buzz, Madonna reportedly told guests at a 2019 Golden Globes after-party, "Acting in one decent film doesn't make you Meryl Streep. Some of us built careers spanning decades without needing Hollywood's validation." 6. Janet Jackson. One of Madonna's most intense but less publicized rivalries involves Janet Jackson, a friction that industry insiders trace back to the early 1990s when both women were pushing boundaries of sexuality and feminism in pop music. Madonna always viewed Janet as her only real competition during that era, explained a former Maverick Records executive. While Madonna was being provocative through shock value, Janet was achieving similar cultural impact through precision and subtlety, an approach Madonna allegedly dismissed as playing it safe. The tension reportedly began after Janet's landmark 1993 Janet album and provocative Rolling Stone cover shattered the squeaky clean image from her earlier career. According to a studio engineer who worked with Madonna during this period, she was visibly irritated by the critical acclaim Janet received, Madonna kept questioning why Janet was being praised for sexual expression when she had been crucified for the same thing a decade earlier. What particularly annoyed Madonna was Janet's family name. During production meetings for her 1994 Bedtime Stories album, Madonna allegedly told producers, "She was born into music royalty. Try clawing your way up from nothing in the Lower East Side, then talk to me about earning your place."
Mariah can pass, Janet can pass, doesn't matter. Whitney can pass, doesn't matter, who cares?
Well, they can't do what I do.
The competitive tension escalated during the mid-90s awards season when both were nominated for similar accolades. A Grammy production assistant recalled an icy encounter backstage in 1995. Madonna walked past Janet without acknowledgement, then made a comment about industry nepotism loud enough for Janet's team to hear. And 5. Elton John. Few musical feuds have been as publicly acrimonious as the decades-long Cold War between Madonna and Sir Elton John. A clash that music industry veterans describe as mutual loathing disguised as professional disagreement. They represent opposing philosophies about pop stardom, explained a longtime executive at Warner Music who worked with both artists. Elton believes in musical virtuosity above all, while Madonna prioritizes cultural impact and visual presentation. Neither respects the other's approach. The tension exploded publicly at the 2004 Q Awards when Elton, accepting an award, fired a direct shot. Madonna, Best Live Act? Facts off. Since when has lip-syncing been live? This began a series of increasingly personal attacks from both sides. What particularly irritates Madonna about Elton is his claim to musical superiority. During rehearsals for her 2006 Confessions tour, Madonna reportedly fumed to her band after hearing another of Elton's critiques. "Playing piano well doesn't make you a cultural revolutionary. I've changed how people think about gender, sex, and power. What's he done except wear funny glasses?" The animosity reached new heights during the 2012 Golden Globes when both were nominated in the same category. Before the ceremony, Elton's husband, David Furnish, wrote on social media that Madonna doesn't have a fucking chance of winning. When she did win, Madonna's acceptance speech included pointed references to those who don't believe in my musical abilities. Even in recent years, the frost remains. When asked about Elton's farewell tour in a 2019 BBC interview, Madonna simply replied, "Some people can't exit the stage gracefully. Others of us keep evolving instead of taking nostalgic victory laps." 4. Mariah Carey. The long simmering tension between Madonna and Mariah Carey represents a classic clash between contrasting approaches to pop stardom. And according to insiders, Madonna's disdain stems from what she perceives as Carey's one-dimensional focus on vocal ability. Madonna sees Mariah as everything wrong with how we judge female pop stars, revealed a former VH1 executive who worked with both divas. Mariah emphasizes vocal gymnastics, while Madonna believes true artistry requires constant reinvention and cultural provocation. The friction first surfaced during a 1995 interview when Madonna was asked about Carey's success. Her response was tellingly dismissive. "I haven't really paid attention to her since that song about a vision of love or whatever it was called." The deliberate vagueness about Carey's breakthrough hit did not go unnoticed. What particularly bothers Madonna is Carey's emphasis on her vocal range and technical ability. During production meetings for her Drowned World Tour in 2001, Madonna allegedly told her team, "Anyone can stand still and hit high notes. Try dancing full out for 2 hours while delivering a message that actually matters." The animosity deepened when both attended the same industry events throughout the 2000s. According to a MTV Video Music Awards production assistant, elaborate arrangements were made to keep the two stars separated. Madonna specifically requested not to be seated within eye line of Mariah. When asked why, she simply said, "I've heard enough about those whistle notes to last a lifetime."
Mariah can pass, Janet can pass, doesn't matter. Whitney can pass, doesn't matter, who cares?
Well, they can't do what I do.
Number 3. Kylie Minogue. One of Madonna's most surprising musical antipathies focuses on Australian pop princess Kylie Manugg, a tension that industry insiders traced to Madonna's frustration with being repeatedly compared to someone she reportedly views as a lightweight imitator. Madonna absolutely bristles at the Kylie comparisons, explained a former A&R executive who worked with both stars. She sees Kylie as having built a career from following Madonna's blueprint without adding anything substantially new to the conversation. The friction allegedly began in the early 2000s when Kylie's Fever album and Can't Get You Out of My Head achieved global success just as Madonna was struggling with her American Life era. According to a Maverick Records insider, Madonna was visibly irritated when presented with sales comparisons. She dismissed Kylie as disco music for people who don't want to think and questioned wire treads of what I did 15 years ago were being celebrated. What particularly aggravates Madonna is the media narrative of Kylie as the warm, accessible version of Madonna. During a tense photo shoot for Q magazine in 2008, Madonna reportedly snapped at a stylist who mentioned Kylie's fashion influence. Being likable isn't an artistic achievement. Anyone can smile and be agreeable. Try challenging an entire religious institution and see how likable you remain. The tension became more evident during the promotion of Madonna's Hard Candy album when an interviewer asked about Kylie's similar sonic direction. According to those present, Madonna's response was chillingly dismissive. "I don't follow trends, I create them."
I had to give a big up to Britney, and then I had to give a big up to Kylie.
Perhaps you should ask her about my influence on her work, not the other way around. 2. Jennifer Lopez. Madonna's reported disdain for Jennifer Lopez centers on what those close to her describe as fundamental questions about authenticity and the definition of artistic talent in pop music. Madonna views J.Lo as the triumph of marketing over musicianship, revealed a former tour director who worked with Madonna's Drowned World Tour. She believes Lopez represents everything wrong with the celebrity industrial complex, fame built on image rather than artistic substance. The tension first surfaced during the early 2000s when Lopez's explosive commercial success coincided with a relative commercial lull in Madonna's career. According to a Universal Music executive present at a 2002 meeting, when Lopez's accomplishments were mentioned as a marketing reference point, Madonna coldly responded, "Are we really using someone who doesn't write or produce their own work as an example now? How very contemporary of us." What particularly irritates Madonna is the perception of Lopez as a multi-hyphenate talent. During preparations for her 2006 Confessions tour, Madonna reportedly vented to her creative director after seeing Lopez on a magazine cover, dancing adequately, acting mediocrely, and singing with other people's voices isn't being a triple threat, it's being a triple imposter. The tension became more evident at the 2015 Met Gala, where both attended. According to a Vogue staffer working the event, elaborate arrangements were made to keep them at opposite ends of the room after Madonna refused to be seated at the same table. When asked why, she allegedly responded, "I've spent 4 decades changing culture. I don't share space with those who simply respond to it." 1. Lady Madonna. The artist. Madonna has the most intense and complicated relationship with isn't a contemporary at all. It's her younger self and the expectations she created through decades of boundary-pushing work. Madonna's greatest competition has always been Madonna, explained her former longtime publicist Liz Rosenberg in a rare 2018 interview. She measures every artist against what she accomplished, but saves her harshest criticism for her own past incarnations. This internal rivalry became evident during the creation of her 2005 Confessions on a Dance Floor album when producer Stuart Price revealed Madonna refused to reference her own earlier work. She explicitly said, "I'm not competing with other artists. I'm competing with Like a Prayer Madonna and Ray of Light Madonna. They're the ones to beat." What particularly drives Madonna is her refusal to become a nostalgia act. During rehearsals for her 2019 Madame X tour, she reportedly exploded when a dancer suggested incorporating iconic moves from her Vogue era. That Madonna no longer exists. She was revolutionary then, but repeating her now would make me what I've always despised: predictable. The tension between Madonna's past and present became public during her 2015 feud with BBC Radio 1 when they refused to playlist her new singles. In a candid Instagram post, she wrote, "Discrimination against age is still the last socially acceptable prejudice." According to a Universal Music executive, privately she was even more direct. If a 20-year-old had released this exact same music, they'd call her a genius. When I do it, they tell me to age gracefully, which really means disappear quietly. That's our countdown of the 7 artists that have reportedly earned Madonna's legendary disdain, from artistic disagreements to fundamental clashes over what defines true pop innovation. Even the Queen of Pop has her musical nemeses, including versions of herself. What do you think about these alleged feuds? Did any surprise you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into pop's spiciest rivalries, smash that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from music history. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our weekly uploads.